Hey guys, hope you're well. It's good to be back. I hope you've had a good week. I'm back with some more help for you guys out there on the writing side of things this time. So what I'm going to talk about is yourselves making your first short script. Okay, so there are a number of things that I'm suggesting that you should do. All these things I've kind of learned over the years myself through my own experiences making films and also being a screenwriter. Having studied screenwriting many years ago. So yeah, let me kind of start off with what I think would be a good first script for you guys if it's kind of early stages of your career. I think before you actually start writing a script, have a look at, have a vision for where you want it to be, like kind of what style or genre, and have a look at other people's work in that genre. So watch some films, read some screenplays, look at what else is out there. I'm not saying copy it or anything like that. I'm just saying just be aware and understand and research it. It's good to start with that. I think the next thing after that really to follow on from that, I would say, is look at the format of a script. So you're clear in terms of how you should lay out a script, what it should look like on a page, what the professional layout is, etc. Because it's good to start with that habit early and just make your screenplays on the page as they should be, because that's the format, that's the professional way to do things. That's definitely the best way to go about it. So research the genre that you're going to write in, and also have a look at the actual script format, what that looks like. It's slightly different for television to film, but have a look at both. And then start off with thinking about the theme of your story, as in, what's it about? What are you trying to communicate to an audience? What are you trying to say to them? What are your key themes? Usually one theme, sometimes two, but kind of try and think about what you're trying to say, whatever it is that you want to say. The theme is basically what the story is, kind of discussing in terms of what it is. Okay, and it being your first script or one of your early scripts, I would also say keep it really short, because don't stress yourself too much. It's going to be a challenge writing it, but just make it short and easy to do. So I'd say start with maybe thinking in your mind that it's going to be 5 pages from beginning to end. So I think that's a good starting point. Same with your locations. You don't have to make it too complicated. Maybe 2 or 3 locations. Yeah, and also same with the number of characters. Don't have too many. Don't make it too complex. If it's your first film, especially, because you don't want to be lost in all of that. You want to be able to just say, right, okay, this is what I'm going to write about. This is my theme. This is my location, my situations or locations, and this is what I'm trying to achieve with my story. Yeah, and like I say, going back to the, if you're writing in a genre, or if you're writing, something, whatever it might be, think about whether you want to conform and do something similar to other stuff out there, or if you want to do something completely against the grain of the genre. If you're going to do something that moves away, or is a combination of other genres or something else, whatever it might be, really think about that before you start writing, and consider the way that you're going to put your work together. Okay, and then I guess the really next thing that's really important is your characters. So 2 things that you should really think about, which will make your script stand out and make it good, or at least defined, is your characters, right? So with your characters, think about how they speak and think about how they move in your head. Picture it in your mind if you can. I think you can visualize things in your head when you start writing. That definitely helps. So visualize your characters. What do they look like in your head? And also, how do they speak? That's really important. How they speak, what they say. Do they, have a particular accent so their words come out a certain way? Do they repeat themselves? Have they got a stutter? Or, make it distinctive and make each character distinctive. Okay, so what also helps is writing a backstory for them. What a backstory is kind of, their history, their character profile, where they come from. So imagine in your mind like a real person. Where were they born? Where did they come from? What was their education? What are they doing in their lives? What's happening in their lives right now? And then you drop them into your story with all that in your head. And then you're just going to get a much more detailed, interesting, you know, three-dimensional kind of character or characters if you're going to do that with each of the people that you create. So all of those things are really useful and helpful. And then just some advice from me. This is just, you know, writers tend to find their own techniques and their own way of doing things, but I found that with a short script I would tend to write the beginning scene, write the middle scene, and write the end scene, and then they're kind of like steps, and then you write in between the steps, or you have a bridge that goes from the beginning to the middle and then the middle to the end. So try and do that where you've got the beginning, write that, the middle, or the end, and then write the scenes in between, so there's a clear link between, you know, start, middle, finish. And it's an important skill to have. I mean, there's a lot more I can talk to you about screenwriting. Myself, I've written maybe 4 feature-length screenplays, and, you know, shorts as well, and a documentary. Done lots of different kinds of projects, but fiction drama is definitely the biggest challenge. So yeah, write your scenes, write them out. Don't be scared to write things down. You just got to let it out. Just let it go. And what you do is get your work out there, get it written, the first draft, and then once you've done that, get somebody to read it. I think the more expertise the person has in script editing or script writing, the better it will be for yourselves. I mean, and give it to 2 or 3 people, I think. Get them to read it, get them to give you some feedback, and then after it, give yourself some distance from it for a couple of days, have a break from it once you've written it. That process itself will be a challenge because it's the first time you're doing it. You might love it, you might find it a struggle, or you might hate it, but you might still find it rewarding even though it's a real struggle. But write your first draft. Once you've written that first draft, as I say, show it and share it with people. Create some notes if you wish, and listen to other people's comments and think, well, how can I make this better? This is this is what I've got as a first run through. How can I make this a better story? So you're then on to rewriting. Okay, so I mean, a good and effective way to do this, at least for some people, including myself, is to work with a script editor, which just means you're bouncing ideas off somebody. They may well see things in the story that you don't see, things that maybe don't make sense, or whatever, something that they spot that you think could be better, or they come up with a little twist or an idea or a thought that takes it in a different direction, which makes it more interesting or exciting. Do all of those things, just think about what you're going to do in the second draft. All right, so give it some distance, give it a couple of days, so you've had to go and have a clear mind, and then come back to it, and then read it again and think, right, okay, well, this is okay, this could be changed, that could be better. So I mean, you could do a second draft yourself, but I think personally it's tough when you're so close to the material. So rewrite it, and then look at the second draft, and then again work with the script editor. Does it need another pass? I mean, it's only a short script, it's only 5 pages, but if you think you can do any better, go over it again and again and again and again until you do the best draft that you think you possibly can, and every scene is absolutely spot on for you, and you think that's my script, that's the way I want to do it. Consider if twists and turns are going to help. I mean, that's maybe further down the line, and when you become a bit more established as a writer and you've done a lot more writing. But in the early stages of writing, it's a struggle just to even get stuff on the page, because you're lacking in confidence. You've not written before. Just get it on the page, out of your head and on the page. That's what you need to do, and then hopefully share it with people. Okay, guys, I hope that bit of advice has helped, and I will see you again soon. I'm going to be running some courses, media production courses later on in the near future. So I'm just working on that stuff. Some of that may well involve screenwriting. As I say, partly my background is in screenwriting as a professional, and you can see some of my published work as well on Amazon. I'll tell you about that later. And also in teaching screenwriting as well, so on an academic level. So guys, thank you so much. Please subscribe to the channel if you can, if you don't mind. I want to share and help as many people as I can. And take care, and see you next time. Thanks a lot.